Mark, you've recently joined REM Systems. I understand that you're looking after, a big part of the UK in reference to Erowa. Now, tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I started quite a few years ago, actually on the shop floor for a subcontractor close to where I live. Then saw some engineers do some work in that particular factory, and thought, actually, I'd quite like to do that. So then I ventured into applications for 3 companies actually throughout the UK and globally on one of them, teaching people how to use the machinery and to actually do maintenance as well in some parts of the world, installation training in many different parts, China, Australia, America, Brazil, to name a couple. So, and then I moved into machine tool sales. Now, recently, as you said, I'm now with REM for the Erowa selling in Northern Ireland and the UK.
Well, it's quite a fantastic journey, but why are we at Driven Engineering and haven't? I understand there's a bit of a background here, isn't there?
There is a link with Driven and myself. I've known Ray for a few years now, and that's developed over time, and obviously now it will continue with Erowa and hopefully the sale of more equipment from REM.
Well, it's quite a nice journey, isn't it? Working on the shop floor, selling machine tools, but I'm sure that you've seen a lot of advantages with companies that have gone down the automation route for their business.
Yeah, for sure. And historically, people have said, well, I don't do the batch sizes for automation. I haven't got the volume. Well, things have changed drastically in the last probably 15 years, where I know companies quite well that do 1s and 2s off on automation. You don't necessarily need big batch work for automation. The flexibility it brings with planning and workflow, you might have a 50 batch, but you only need 3 that month. So you only plan to make 3 rather than tie the machine up for 50 off.
And I think also with skill shortages still in the UK and Ireland with engineers, automation gives that flexibility. But I was talking to Ray because his background is a motorsport, and I say, but a lot of these are complex parts. But why have a compact 80? I mean, that's quite a big investment, isn't it?
It is, and it's something that he thought about for a while. And he does his due diligence on types of stuff that is available. And he felt Erowa fitted exactly what he wanted to do for Driven, take it forward to the next step. And hence why we're here in his new facility today. He's looking to the future.
And I think also talking to Ian Holbeach, the managing director at REM Systems, he's saying that a lot of the sales are coming from smaller job shops rather than necessarily the big sort of OEMs with their process facilities. It's very much about the smaller customer can embrace automation.
Yeah, because that smaller customer has a varied amount of parts, so they need the flexibility that an Erowa automation brings. A genuine OEM that makes their parts for themselves, it's more difficult to justify because there's no change in the value. The value is set. But with a subcontractor like Ray and others, the value is I can do many different parts in the same system.
So quite an exciting journey for you, but obviously going down to a different path with automation. And for those companies that may know you or may not know you, who are looking at automation solutions, what's your message to them?
Just talk to somebody, just talk to me, talk to Ian, talk to the guys at REM. You never know what might be. Times are changing now. In the last 14, 18 months, the world has changed. People want to reshore. There's much talk on the net of reshoring. We can be more competitive, and with automation, you can be more competitive. The UK can be a global player in manufacturing.